Hello, hi guys. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Am I audible, guys? Is my voice reaching to all? Can I get the quick responses, please? Yes, no. Is my screen visible to all? Hi, Ramakrishna. Good morning. Can I get few responses from others too? Okay, all right. Thank you, guys. Fine. So today we are going to see how we are going to deploy the SQL databases. How we are going to deploy the SQL databases in cloud computing. Okay, so let me go to the databases here. Yeah, this one, right? SQL DB as a service in Azure cloud computing. Okay, you see here, basically Azure gives us two options. Okay, Azure cloud computing gives us two options to run SQL server workloads. That is, first IaaS as well as PaaS. See, if you directly deploying, okay, if you are directly, yes, yesterday we didn't had a class. No, no, no. Yesterday there was no class. Yesterday there was some problem in Zoom. Okay. So in our platform, so I could not able to start the class yesterday, and we didn't had a class yesterday. So if you guys remember, in our last class we have done this concept, logic apps, right? Correct. Now after logic apps we are having SQL databases. That only I'm starting now. Okay. All right. Fine. So what I'm saying here, Azure gives us two options to deploy or to work in SQL Server, and that is both in IaaS and PaaS as well. So see, when we are creating a new server, as usual, when we are creating a new server, and after the server got created, if we are installing SQL server like SSMS, SQL services in that server, then we call that as IaaS. Okay. Or if we are deploying SQL server, SQL database directly, okay, then that comes under PaaS. That comes under PaaS. Okay, SQL server inside fully managed VM. So in PaaS, directly we are deploying SQL server database along with SQL server in cloud platform itself only. Here we are first deploying a VM, then we are installing SQL server inside this VM. Okay, when we are taking this approach, then it comes under IaaS. When we are deploying SQL database in cloud portal itself only directly, then that comes under PaaS category. So I'll show you how we can use SQL database directly in cloud portal. Okay. Azure SQL Database, okay, is a cloud-based relational database service that is built on SQL Server technologies. It supports TSQL commands, tables, index views, primaries, keys, etc. Every single thing, whatever that comes in the SQL database, everything it will support if you directly deploy the SQL database in cloud computing. Okay, fine. So basically, there are multiple ways that we can deploy SQL Server. Okay, we can deploy SQL database as standalone. We can deploy SQL database as elastic pool, and we can deploy in multiple instance. Okay, I'll show you directly how to deploy. Okay, this is the complete theoretical information, guys. Just theoretical information, read it by your own. SQL database delivers predictable performance, scalability with no downtime, business continuity, and data protection with almost zero administration. Okay, with which we can focus rapid app development and accelerating our time to market rather than managing virtual machines and infrastructure. So when you are creating SQL database directly in cloud portal, then there is not much administration activities, maintenance activities, Okay, upgrade activities that you have to take care of. Everything will be taken care by our cloud vendor. That is what I'm saying here. If I put it in a very simple terms. Okay, benefits of SQL database as service. High availability we will get. Okay, for each SQL database created on Azure, there are 3 replicas of the database on demand. Okay, we can create a database on demand whenever it is needed, just with a few clicks. Okay, on one can quickly provision the database when needed with a few mouse clicks, reduce management overhead. It allows you to extend your business application into the cloud by building on core SQL server functionality. All this is theoretical information, guys. Okay. This is SQL database deployment options. What are the options we are having? We can deploy single or standalone database. We can deploy in an elastic pool. Okay, and manage instances. Single database means what? Okay, isolated single database. It has its own guaranteed compute, memory, and storage. So it's pretty obvious now, guys. When SQL database we are deploying, along with that SQL server also will deploy. See, remember here one point. See, okay, when we are deploying, I'll show you practically also. When we are deploying SQL DB in cloud, okay, in cloud computing portal, then along with that, we have to deploy, okay, SQL server also. SQL database is different. SQL server is different. Okay, we cannot create, see, we cannot create SQL, okay, DB without SQL server. Okay, under one SQL server, we can deploy multiple SQL DBs, but at least one SQL server should be there. It's very important. Now, these are the different flavors we are having, guys. These are the different flavors. You can deploy single database. You can deploy under elastic pool. What is this one? Collection of single DBs with fixed set of resources. So when we are deploying SQL databases or SQL database, see what we are doing. We are storing some data. After the data is stored, we are fetching, means we are writing the queries. We are getting the output. For all these things, we need what? We need CPU, we need memory, we need to shade all the this, like, compute power, CPU, memory, all these things with, okay, all the databases. When you have deployed with elastic pool option, when you have deployed with single database option, then that complete compute power, memory power, okay, and CPU power, everything will be reserved for this single database only. Elastic pool means multiple databases will be shared. Managed instance means set of databases which can be used together. Okay, multiple options. So mostly we'll take elastic pool or single database in our real-time projects. These two types of okay, options will use in our real-time project. As Azure SQL database purchasing model. What is this one? We are having two purchasing models when we are deploying SQL databases. And what is that? DTUs. Okay, database transaction units, DTUs. One purchasing model is this one, and another one is this one, vCore. vCore is virtual core. Okay, what is this? DTU stands for database transaction units, and it is a combined measure of compute, storage, and input-output resources, IO resources. This DTU-based model is not supported for managed instances. vCore is what? Virtual core. vCore stands for virtual core that provides higher compute, memory, and storage limit, and gives us the great control over the compute and storage resources that we create and pay for. Okay. So any one model you can choose, either this one or this one. This one is more costly. This one is more costly as compared to this one. When we are deploying databases for production environments, for production servers, then we'll go for vCore. When we are deploying databases for demo or for dev or for QA, then we'll go for DTUs. Two options we are having. We can choose any one, either of one. It's our choice. Okay. So I'll show you now how practically we can create the database. Okay. I'll say here portal.azure.com. Okay. So I'm having a resource group here. Let the resource group be. Pranil, don't delete this resource group. If you are there in the class, just wanted to inform you that don't delete this resource group. Let it be. Okay. Fine. Now what I'll do, I'll go here and I'll search for SQL database. See, I got it. SQL database. I got SQL databases. Click on this one. Okay. Now click on create. Okay. Fine. Resource group. I'm taking this resource group. SQL database name. I'm taking it as Naresh SQL DB. I'm saying Naresh SQL database. Okay. Database name, what I'm giving. Okay. Server name. This is what SQL server. So if there is any one server, you can click on this knob and you can select it. But there is no server. So what you will do, you click on create new. You click on create new. Click on create new here. Server name. What server name you want to give? I'll give it as SQL server in Azure. What I'm giving the name SQL server in Azure. This is the name I'm giving. Okay, I'm just recording all these things here in a notepad, which will be helpful for me to run the queries later. Where I'm creating this in East US region. This is fine. Authentication method. So how people can connect to your Azure SQL server, the server that I'm creating in Azure Cloud Computing, how people are going to connect it. That is authentication. Okay, so use only Azure Active Directory, use both SQL Server and Azure AD, or use SQL Server authentication. Use SQL authentication. I'll take here this one. Use both SQL and AD authentication. I'm saying here use both SQL and Azure AD authentication. Okay, fine. So I have selected this option. You can choose this option only. If you are choosing this option, then people can connect to your SQL server only with the SQL authentication. If you take then here SQL as well as Azure AD admin. Okay, one who is onboarded to our Azure Active Directory. This we have done in our last classes if you guys have remembered. Using that also, they can onboard, they can connect to SQL server if they have onboarded to Active Directory, or else they can pass the user ID and password and then they can connect. Only Azure Active Directory means first you have to onboard, then he can connect to SQL database. So let me go here. Let me onboard one user here. Let us take someone. Let us take Gareth. Okay. I'll go to Active Directory. Active Directory I am unable to find. So search here Active Directory. Okay. Then click on users. Say new user, create a new user. This we have done, guys. This we have done. If you guys have remembered. Yes, no. Display name, I'll give the same name as Gareth only. I'll say password should be this one. Okay. Fine. I'm enabling the account, auto enable, all these things. First name, last name, user type, job title, company name, all these are time pass things. Okay, fill it accordingly. Next, I'm not doing as of now. Click on create. I'm just onboarding a user. Okay, Gareth. I'm onboarding a user, Gareth. Hold on, the user will come. It will take some time. Yeah, see, Gareth user came. Now, what I'll do, I'll take this one. I have said that the user is onboarded to my Active Directory. Also, he can, you know, should be having the access to my SQL database, and he can connect to my SQL database using user ID and password. So I'll take this one. Now set Azure AD admin. Okay, so I'll say here set admin. Click on this one. I'll search here for Gareth user. See, I got the Gareth user. Select the user here. Click the user and click on select. Okay. Name, server admin name. I'm giving the same name as Gareth. Okay. Password. We'll give this password only. Any password, any name you can give, guys. Confirm password. Okay. All this I have set now. Click on OK. Done. Next, what I'll do, want to use SQL Elastic Pool. See here, I'm having that option. Server I have created now. All things are done. Want to use SQL Elastic Pool. Okay, yes or no. If you're saying no, then it will be deployed as a standalone database. Single standalone database. If you say here yes, then it will deploy. Okay, Elastic Pool. It will deploy your server under Elastic Pool. Okay, and then you have to create one Elastic Pool here. Create new. You can create an Elastic Pool. Then what all the databases that you are creating, okay, that all databases will be sharing the compute power, networking power, CPU power, processing, and all that stuff. I'm just deploying a standalone database. So I've said here no. Elastic Pool, no means standalone database. Workload environment. You are deploying this for development server, development environment, or production. I'll say here development. Fine. Or production also you can choose. Your choice. Okay. And I'll say here development as of now. Then compute plus storage. Compute plus storage. Click on this configure database, and here you're having multiple options now. See here you're having vCore and DTU. These two are disabled. Why? Because our free trial account. Ours is the free trial account. So for free trial account, for free trial people, it is disabled these two options. It has disabled these two options. Okay, fine. If I take here vCore general purpose, okay, and how I want to deploy. I want to provision, I want to go for serverless. Okay, see, compute resources are pre-allocated, billed per hour based on vCore configured in provision. And here in serverless, compute resources are auto scale, billed per second based on vCore used. Okay, so here the billing will be per second, means something like, you have used for 5 minutes, 34 seconds. Exactly, it will give you the bill in that way only, like 5 minutes, 34 seconds. Here it is something like this one. Okay, billet per hour based on the vCore configured. Here, if you want, you can choose DTU also. And remember, guys, here, what it is giving us, the configuration, it is giving us vCore as 1, which is very small. If you want, you can put it as 10 here also. But if you put 10, it will increase the money here. Okay, I'm saying here, maximum vCore is this much. Okay, change configuration. See how much it is giving me. vCore is 80, standard, this one, standard service, 240 GB. Maximum storage you can store up to 4 TB. Okay, and it is charging you how much? 0.0113. Okay, compute cost per second. Okay, so I'll cancel this one. Okay, if I increase this, see how much it is charging me. Okay, if I come here and increase this V core, let us take, I'll say here 40. Okay, and minimum V core is this much, it is saying. See, I'm getting an error. Free trial subscription can provision basic standard. Okay, that is S0 through S3 databases up to 100 DTUs, basic or standard elastic pool, and DW 100 through this one. So it is saying me go for DTUs. Okay, I'll go for basic one. Let us take what it is saying. If I take basic here, two purchasing models I'm having, vCore is not working out for us because we are at free trial version. If I take DTUs basic, then it is giving me database size maximum up to 2 GB only. 2 GB database size. Okay. And it is charging me how much for 2 GBs? 2 GB database size, it is charging me something 384 rupees per month. Estimated cost per month, 384 rupees. Okay. And here I'm not having option to increase the database size. Let us take standard here. See what it is happening with standard. It is giving me the DTUs as 10. Database transaction units. This is the compute power of our database. It is giving 10. Database size 2 GB. I'll make it as 40 GB. See, for DTUs 10, for database size 40, it is charging me how much? 1156. 1156 rupees per month. Okay. Getting guys, is that clear? It is charging 1156 rupees per month. Okay. 115.60 into 10. Okay. Database transaction units are 10. Okay. So that's why what it is doing, 1156.60. 1150. How much it is? 115.60 into 10. See, 1156. If I increase this compute power, here the amount will also will get increased. See, if I say here 20, then see this amount will get changed now. Super. See, this is your DTUs. This is your okay, cost, money. So one DTU, it is charging you 115 rupees. So if you say here now, 115.59 into 20, it is going to 2311.8. That is what is showing the cost here. So this is good. Here it is giving us full option. Whatever DTUs we want, we can set. Whatever the database size we want, we can set. See, maximum we can go up to 250 GB. 250 GB database size, but it is of no use unnecessarily. See the thing here, if you are increasing, decreasing the size, the amount is not getting changed. See, 40 GB also same amount. Okay, 50 GB also same amount. 150 GB also same amount. 200 GB also same amount. The actual game is here only. Compute power. Correct, na? The actual game is here only. So I'll say here maybe 20 is fine, no problem. And we'll go for 40 GB database. That is more than sufficient for us. Fine. I'll say here apply. Fine. That is done. This is, I have done 20 database transaction units I have taken and 40 GB database space I have taken. Next is about backup storage redundancy. Azure portal will take the backup of our database by itself. Yes, yes, you can increase Ramakrishna. After the deployment of the database, whatever you want, you can increase. You can increase the DTUs. You can increase the database size. Yes, it is very much flexible. That's the beauty of cloud. Okay, just with a few kicks, you can increase it. Okay, I'll show that also. No worries. Fine. Now, Azure will take the backup of your database by default. You say, you don't say, you want, you don't want, it will take the backup of your database. Now, that database, how you want to store? Locally, zone redundant or geo redundant. This we have discussed in storage classes. The storage account classes, first class of storage account, when we have deployed the storage account for the first time, on that class, I have explained these concepts. Locally, zone and geo. So I'll just say here locally only, fine. Next, I'll say here networking. Okay, connectivity method. I'll say here public endpoints. Means what I'm saying, this database should be accessed to everyone, whoever is making a login to my Azure portal from whichever network they are. Okay, no access means completely confidential. Private endpoints means you have to have your own private endpoint, and then that private endpoint, we have to define the set of network ranges, then it will be accessible. Just now I am going as of now public endpoint. Now, allow Azure services and resources to access this server. Yes. Okay. I'm saying Azure services and resources to access this server. Say yes. Add current IP address. Means what? If I'm saying yes here, then my laptop IP address will be added to my SQL server. So that what will happen here? From my local laptop, I can access the cloud database. If I say here, add current client IP address as yes. If I say here no, then I'll open SSMS. Where I'm opening SSMS, I'm opening this in my local laptop. I'm opening this in my local laptop. So after it gets opened, if I'm trying to connect to cloud database, which I'm deploying now, that I cannot connect, that I cannot access. Okay, for that reason, I'm saying here, okay, this I cannot connect it. Okay. And when I'm saying here this one and say connect, then what it is doing, it is connecting to my local SQL DB server, local, not cloud DB server. This is my local DB server. Okay, default instance. So I'm saying here yes. If I say here yes, then I can connect to this cloud DB from my SSMS, from my local laptop. Okay, I'll show that one. Let us deploy the database first. Connection policy, I'm just going with default only. Default, what it does, it uses redirect policy for all client connections originating inside of Azure and proxy for all client connections originating outside Azure. Okay, default I'll just take. Proxy also, redirect, all these things. I'll just take default here. Okay, transport layer security, one certificate we have to attach, anyone, compulsory. So it is taking default TLS 1.2. Let it be. Next is security here. So Microsoft Defender, this is one of the tools which will measure the performance of your SQL database. How much time it is taking to process the queries, how much time it is taking to, store the data, how much time it is taking to do the mirroring. Lot of things that we can do in SQL database. Everything it will monitor, everything it will measure, and it will give you the returns in, real-time projects. Like, you have deployed this SQL database 2 years back. If you want to see now for the last 3 months, how was your SQL database performance and all, then this will be helpful for you. This is what something like this. Next, these are all the tools, guys, like Ledger. Okay. Cryptographically verifies the integrity of your data and detects any tampering that might have occurred. Okay. So I'm just leaving all these things to default as it is. Next, additional settings. How you want this database to be. You want this database to be completely an empty database with no data at all. Then you can say here none. Choose here none, and this is your collation. This is your SQL database collation. Okay. And if you want this database to be as a backup of some other database, then you can select here backup, and then here you can select the backup database. Okay. Sample, if you want to deploy this database as a sample, like adventure works and all. See, selecting this sample will modify the compute plus storage setting configured in basic for backup compatibility. Okay. Do you want to continue? You say okay, then it will be taken as a sample adventure work database deployed. So I try this, guys, try this sample one and none also. If you take none means completely new, brand new SQL database with no data inside it, completely fresh database. Okay, fine. I'm taking it as none only. Next tags, pass the tags here accordingly as per your project standards. This tags will come for every service that we are deploying, guys. Whatever you deploy, this tags will come. Okay. Say here next review plus create. Okay, it is charging me how much? 2311.8. Okay, cost per month. Okay, this is estimated cost per month. All these are the details now. In free trial, in this resource group, in this region, the database name is this one, all this stuff. And this is the password we have given. These details we have to record, guys. What is the admin name we have given? Gareth, right? And the password we have given is this one. To connect to the database, this is the password we have given, right? What else is there? Okay, admin username Gareth we have given, that we have recorded. Fine. All is done now. What I'll do now, I'll go ahead and I'll deploy this database now. Okay, I'll click on create. Now it is creating a database. Let us hold on for some time. Let us wait till the database server gets deployed here in Azure portal. If all users need to connect from VM only instead of local PC. VM means which VM you are saying, Ramakrishna? Virtual machine. Yeah, in that case, virtual machine means Azure virtual machine, you mean, or your server, you mean? We we have to whitelist the networking subnet. Basically, in network we are having subnet. That subnet we have to whitelist. So what all the people who are connecting, yeah, what all the people who are, see, in a VNet we are having subnet, right? And we have to whitelist the subnet range. Okay, so that subnet may have 10,000 IPs, 50,000 IPs, like that. If you whitelist that particular subnet, then who all the developers, like team, developers team and all, then they are having that subnet IPs. If we directly whitelist the subnet, then they can connect it directly to our SQL database. Fine. Now see here, fantastic. The database deployment got provision here. Database got provision. Go to the resource. See, this is our database. And this is our database server. This is the database and this is database server. Okay, fine. Now what I'll do, okay, I will connect to this database. Okay, this has been deployed. See, this is my database. Okay. And what I'll do now, I'll connect to this database from my local laptop, from my SSMS. Okay, so what is my database server name here? It is this one, SQL Server in Azure. And see here, it is showing me the status as online. The status of my database is online. Location is East US. Okay, all the details here. Okay, that is showing whatever we have chosen. Compute plus storage here. See, if you click here on compute plus storage, see, someone has asked this question, right? Can we increase later point of time? Yes. See, database has been deployed. After 10 days, now your client is saying to increase this DTUs. But remember, the price will get increased for you then. Okay, if you want to make it from 20 to 40, you can do it so. 20 to 40 and 40 GB to 100. Hmm. The problem here is, see, you are using a free trial subscription, which is limited to performance level, not higher than S1. This is the limitation we are having because of free trial. But if you are using a paid subscription as such, then you can do it so, guys. You can come here, compute plus storage, and you can do it so, no problem. Okay, fine. Is that clear? If you want it, you can go here, compute plus storage, and you can increase or decrease the configuration of your databases. Hold on. I'll show Pranil. Hold on. Fine. So this is the one connection string. This is the connection string of our database, which will be used by developers, .NET developers, Java developers. Okay, they will. We have to give these connection strings to them. Okay, this is the properties of our database, like what collection we have taken, what is the size, status of our database. Okay, we have taken standard S1. All these details. Okay, server admin name is login. Sorry, server admin login name is Gareth. Okay, active directory onboarded of this user is this mail ID with this mail ID. Okay, resource group, this one that we have deployed, subscription ID, subscription name, resource group ID, etc., all these things. So what I'll do now, okay, I will show you how we can connect to this database from our local server. Okay, resource pool, like number of connections. Connections means connecting to a database, na Pranil, sorry, Ramakrishna. For that one, okay, you have to go here, set server firewalls. Okay, here you have to add it. Add your client IP version for address something. Okay, click on this one, and here you have to give the subnet range, whatever it is. Give your subnet range here, like rule something like my office subnet. Here give the subnet range. Okay, so what will happen here? Start and end. So what will happen? The range, if you give na, in that range, maybe 50 IPs, 5,000 IPs, 10,000 IPs, whatever it is, all that can connect it. All people can connect to this database. Okay, from their virtual machines. Okay, you have to come here and you have to set it. This one. Okay, set a server firewall. Okay, is that clear? 1 DTU, Mahesh, is very small configuration. 1 DTU is very small configuration. No one will prefer 1 DTU, I believe. Okay, 1 DTU is means very small configuration, very small. So minimum you can take 20 DTUs or 40 DTUs, depends. If you see our case, how much we have taken? We have taken 20 DTUs. 20 DTUs we have taken. 1 DTU is very small. I'm not sure with 1 DTU whether the transaction will happen or not. Okay. All right, fine. So what I'll do now, I'll come here to my SSMS, and remember guys, put it very clear in your head. Okay. If you want to access the SQL DB from your local laptop, okay, then SQL Server SSMS must be installed in your laptop. Okay, what I'm saying here, if you are not having SQL Server SSMS installed in your laptop, then you cannot access the cloud database. You have to access the cloud database from Azure portal only. But the most convenient way to access the SQL database is through SSMS only. Okay. How to connect? This is my local database server. Local. If I want to connect to my cloud database and database server, then click on connect here, say database engine, server name. What is our server name? This one, right? So this is our server name. Take the full name. Don't take only this much. Take SQL server in azure.database.windows.net. Take this completely, okay, and then come here, remove this one and paste. Okay, then say here SQL server authentication. Okay, username is what? User admin username. Admin name is Gareth only. That is what I have passed. Password. This is the password. I'm going to pass here. Okay, let us pass this password and then say connect. Say connect. Super. Super. Very nice. See what is happened now. This is my local database instance. This is my cloud instance. Okay, cloud. Okay, DB server. This is my local DB server. Here we have created one database, Naresh SQL DB. Let us expand this databases folder. Let us see whether it is there or not. Aha, super. See, Naresh SQL database is there. Oh my God, amazing. This is what we have created, na database. Correct or not? That is what we are seeing here. Okay. And this database, I have said that it is a freshly new database. Correct? See now, are you able to see any tables? No. Default tables would be there. Okay. Some default tables will be created as part of SQL database, but any customized tables? No, nothing. System, external, these are all default databases table that will get created automatically. Now I want to create a table. I want to create one table. So what I'll do, okay, if I'm having any sample queries, yeah, I'm having some sample queries here. Okay, I'll click here on new query. Okay, I'll click on this database first. I'll click here, say new query. Okay, and then here I'll open this sample query. Double click on it. It will open directly in our SSMS only. Okay, say SSMS. Say this once. See now is small table I'm creating. Where I'm creating in Naresh SQL database. Where is this database? This database is in my cloud computing. This database is in my cloud computing. I'm creating this table. What is the table here? See this one. This is my table. Okay, click on execute. Right now there is no tables, guys. Here, see, I'll just take a refresh. See, no tables is there. Okay, hold on, got stuck. Yeah, see, no tables is there. I'm creating a table with a name called Naresh Students. I'm creating a table with a name called Naresh Students. Okay, see, table got created. Let us check table is created or not. See, table is there. But this table is an empty. No data is inserted in this table. Just refresh here now. See, you are going to see a table here with a name called Naresh Students now. See, this table has been created just now. And now what I'll do, I'll insert some data into the tables. Okay, this is some data, multiple records I'm inserting into the Naresh Students table. Okay, click on execute. Super. 4 records I've inserted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So say here table as refresh. Now check whether data is there or not in the tables now. Okay. See, data is there inside the tables also. Data is there inside the tables. Super. Things are going good. So now these are few one table I have created. You can get multiple tables now. This is one more sample query I have attached in the material. Multiple queries here. Multiple tables I'm creating. This is one table called cars. This is another table called countries. This is another tables I'm creating here called movies. Now here I'm inserting the data into the cars table. This is all the cars table. I'm inserting the data where I'm doing all these operations. All these operations I'm doing in cloud database. I'm doing in cloud database. See, huge data I'm inserting into the cars table. Likewise, I insert the data. See, this is I'm inserting the data into countries table. Up to here, cars table. Then from here to here, countries table. And then from here to here, I'm inserting in the movies table. Movies table. This is all the data I'm inserting into movies table. Okay. So this is one table. This is another table. And this is another table. Cars, cars table. Okay. Here I am defining the schema of my database objects. What we call these are database objects. Stored procedure, views, okay, tables, indexes, all these are called objects of databases. So I'm just creating tables here. Okay, so I'm creating here tables, schema, object schema, and I'm here inserting some data and inserting here some data. Okay, fine. Then what I'll do, I'll simply say here execute. Once I say execute, it will create three tables and also it will create a, okay, data. This three tables it will create. Also, it will insert the data inside these tables. Okay, fine. So I'll just let me keep it like this only. Fine. I'll say here execute. Okay. So what I have done, I have created the tables. I have inserted the data also. Come here and say refresh. Okay. See now, cars, countries, movies, tables got created. Okay. Nice. So what I'll do now, I'll come here and I'll execute the queries. I'll take a new query here. I'll take a select star from, okay, cars. See, all the data now you are seeing. Where is this data created, generated? This data is being generated in the SQL SQL database server in cloud computing. The most convenient, the most easy way is for every developer, okay, for every database engineer or data engineer is using SSMS. Okay, fine. I'll say here select star from array students, select star from movies, okay, select star from countries. All these are different tables we have created. Okay, now whichever you execute, you will get the data here. Okay, fine. Now here, what you can do, guys, you can write multiple queries here now. Suppose, for an example, you want to take the data only for the, cars. Okay, only, let us take this is movies, right? So I'll just take only I want to see the movies, which is actions. So what you can do here, you can write the queries here accordingly as per your requirement. Select star from, okay, dbo dot movies, okay, where genre, right, genres equal to action. See, there are only two movies, okay, with this title, Sudden Death and Fair Game, okay, which belongs to action genre. And idea of this is this one, 9 or 67. Like this, now you can do a lot of analysis, you can do write different types of queries, okay, lot of things you can do guys here now by writing SQL queries one by one. Okay, this will be created by database developers. Database developers will do, okay, data engineers will process this using Azure Data Factory. Okay, fine. Here is a sample queries, guys. I have already integrated these queries in the material. You can see it in page number 24. Okay, now if you come here, okay, now see one more thing. This is your cloud portal. If you come here to query editor, click on query editor. Okay, and this is our login, Gareth, correct? This is the password. Say okay. Okay, now I have logged in here to my database from Azure portal also. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. We can access our SQL database. We can access our SQL DB even from Azure, okay, portal also. But the convenient way is the SSMS only. It depends, guys. Most of the people will use SSMS only. Okay. Yes, you can do it. So Ramakrishna, that will be taken care by administrators. Okay, Azure administrators will take care of the monitoring stuff and all. Okay, you can use Azure Monitor. Have you heard about Azure Monitor? Azure Monitor will take care of that. Fine. So now what I'll do, I'll go here, and if I expand this, see, I'm seeing all the tables what I have created. All the tables what I have created. Okay, that all we are able to see. Now, if you want, you can go here and you can write the queries here also. You can write the queries here also. Select a star from Naresh students. Naresh students, and say here run. You will got all the records. See, whatever the records you are seeing, you have inserted like this, all this you will get it here also. Amazing, na? This is also something like a SSMS window only, where you can write the queries and you can, do the analysis. It is not getting drag and drop. dbo.movies. See all the records, data you are getting it here also. I'm just making you familiar, guys. I'm just making you familiar here. That's it, not more than that. Okay, just how we can create SQL databases, how we can provision, what are the different purchasing models we are having, how we can access the database from our local SSMS. This is my cloud database server. This is my local database server. These two are different. Here I'm having some other databases. See, if I expand this one, I'm having some other databases here. See, I'm having databases like, AdventureWorks 2014, AdventureWorks 2019, IDAS database, practice database, a lot of other databases I'm having here. And here I have only one database, that is Naresh SQL database. This is what we have created just now in the class itself only, right? Change the data in ADF. No, you cannot change the data. What do you mean by change the data here in ADF? ADF is used to extract and load the data from some source to some destination. Change the data means what? Okay, fine, guys. So this is what about we are having about the SQL databases queries. Okay, like we have lot of data now. Here we can write the queries. See, guys, you are not required to have advanced skills writing the SQL queries. That will be taken care by database engineers. Okay, we are data engineers, not database engineer. Okay, but basic understanding, if you are having it, like how to access the databases, database engine, how to connect, how we are provisioning in cloud. If you're having little understanding, then it is fine. Data quality issue, if it is there, then there are multiple controls we are having in ADF. With that, we can, segregate the data and we can improve the quality of our data. Okay, Kamal, I'll show in the upcoming classes. Just hold on for some days. Okay, what you have asking for, I have understood. Okay, if the data quality is not good as such kind of, either you can do a meetings with your database engineers, okay, and you can check with them. If they are saying that the data is raw data, it is like this only, you are having the completely stuff mixed raw data, then you can use some controls and you can you can only push the data to your destination by using variety of different controls in your ADF, Azure Data Factory. Okay, metadata is there, if condition is there, lot of controls are there that we can use, and we can load the data with a good quality in our destination using ADF. Okay, fine, guys. Now see, this is the advantages of some cloud computing, cloud platform. Some advantages I have given, like it is 24/7 available, accessible, it is having great scalability, it is very much secure, it has got enhanced collaboration. This is all theory, guys. This is all theory I have written here. Okay, key points on Azure data engineering. These are the key points of Azure data engineering. This is also full theory, complete theory here, guys. Please read this theory. I have given this theory completely. Please read this. It will make your fundamentals strong. It will make your fundamentals strong. And this is, architecture diagram of a cloud computing I have given here, something like this. Okay, you are having, like, your private resources, like laptop, mobile, printer, and all these are communicating to our router, right? From router only we are getting this one, and from here we can migrate the data, we can move the data to cloud computing, and also from cloud computing to a private cloud also it is possible. That is what I am showing here in this diagram. Okay, this is the complete theoretical information, guys. See, why many businesses are using Azure data engineering services is because it's providing the best. Azure Data Engineering Services is providing the best of cost. It is giving you the best cost, best productivity, best performance, best efficiency, security, reliability, easy to use, navigate to many sources and destination platforms. All these are the theoretical information, guys. Please read this on your own. Nothing great here for me to explain. All theoretical. Practically, I'll show. Okay, fine. Hierarchy of Microsoft Azure Cloud Platform. What is this one? See, here you're having a tenant. Okay, in a tenant we can have multiple subscriptions, and we are having just one subscription here. This is our subscription. If I go here, see, this is my subscription, and in that now I can have multiple tenants. I can create multiple tenants. This subscription itself is one tenant. Like this, I can create multiple tenants here. Okay, this comes under administration, not even administration, solution architect. Okay, how we are creating multiple subscriptions and tenants, how we are managing the billing for multiple tenants, and how we can place the resources in each subscription. Okay, all these things comes under solution architect. Just a little understanding, if you're having it, fine. Read this all theoretical information, guys. Okay, now what is ADF? Okay, why we need ADF and all this, I'll start it in tomorrow's class. Okay, what is ADF? Okay, a fully managed serverless data integration solution for ingesting, preparing, and transforming all our data at a scale. Okay, fine. This is ADF concept we are going to start from tomorrow. This I'll explain a little bit theory, then how we are connecting and all this stuff. Then I'll show you the practical labs of ADF from tomorrow's class, guys. Okay. So I'll just mark this one. From here we have to start tomorrow. Fine. Is that clear, guys? Read this theory, guys. Read this theory. This will be very much helpful for you. I'm telling, for your interviews point of view. If not for interviews, at least it will give you some understanding about the Azure data engineering. That's why I've given here the heading as a Azure data engineering key points. Something like this I've given here. Okay. Yeah. Azure data engineering. Key points of Azure data engineering. Okay. No, Sri Sai, the recordings is not in my control. Okay, you just talk to Shubham. Do you have Shubham's number? Just talk to Shubham's once. Do you have Shubham's number? Uh, Call him and ask him to give the recordings of the classes. We are having daily recordings ready. Okay. All right. Fine, guys. So, any questions, anyone? So, tomorrow we are going to start with Azure Data Factory. Okay. What is Azure Data Factory and all these things? I'll explain about it, and then we'll start the practicals labs about Azure Data Factory. Very important concepts, guys. Okay, fine. Be regular to classes and read the material. Material is provided to each and every one of you. If you are having any doubts, any questions in the material, you may please ask me. I'll clarify it. I'll answer it. All right. So am I good to close the class or any questions from anyone? Data engineer administrator course. Oh, no, I don't think so. As such, we don't have as such. Azure administrator course is there. Database administrators is there. Database engineers is there. Data engineer administrator, no, I have not heard as such. See, one thing I'll tell you guys, whatever we are learning here now, it is just an knowledge for you to prove yourself that you are good to start with the Azure data engineering job. After you join any company, then again they will give you the training. No need to worry. They will give you the training as per their project scope, and then they will start the work from you. Even we will get the training. See, I am experienced professional, right? So even if I start any new project now, I'll get the training first. I'll get the complete understanding. Then only the work will be started. It's not something like, on the first day of your job only they are asking you to work on that task, work on this task and all. So no need to be panic. Okay, this training, these classes is just to prove in the interview that you are having knowledge in Azure data engineering and you are capable of working in their project after some sort of trainings and all. Okay, and no one will expect you that you should be working in your project on the first day itself only. No, it's not the case like that. Okay. Yeah, cloud architect is a separate certification, Mahesh. Divakar, basic certification dumps, you mean to say 900? Azure 900 dumps you are asking for? Okay, remind me tomorrow in tomorrow's class. I'll forward it in tomorrow's class. I'll give it. Yeah. Uh, we are covering PySpark, yes, in Azure Databricks. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone. We'll connect again tomorrow. We'll start from ADF from tomorrow. Okay. Bye, everyone, guys. Thank you so much for joining today, though it's a Sunday. Yesterday, because of some platform issue, Zoom, there was some issue. Because of that reason, we could not able to start the class. Okay. So we have compensated this. We'll just continue the same in next week's also. Bye, everyone, guys. Take care. Have a nice day.